Welcome to this bite-sized webinar for the VCERT Level 1-2 Technical Awards, using NCFE resources to track progress towards the achievement of the NEA and the EA. It will explore how formative assessment activities within the learning environment can help track your learners' progress and indicate performance towards the achievement of the assessment of this qualification. This will include the use of our teaching and materials, our sample assessment materials, and our overall grading descriptors. Before we begin, just take a moment to consider how confident you're currently feeling using the NCFE resources to track progress towards the achievement of the NEA and the EA, with 1 being no to little confidence and 10 being very confident. We would hope that by the end of the session, you are feeling more knowledgeable and confident. Before the summative assessment begins, the content areas need to be continually linked to the NEA and the EA. Looking at the whole learner journey, the mountain represents the path of learners is never direct and takes different routes for each individual learner. Formative assessment should take place at all these points, capturing throughout the qualification from the start. The purpose of being to create work-ready skilled students, improve retention, develop skills, knowledge, build confidence of the full breadth and depth of learning. The tracking should capture interventions and progress against the learner targets and goals. Feedback and feed forward relates to what has been achieved at a specific point, a checkpoint. This allows for forward planning of what could be improved to plan the next steps. When we give feed forward, it is looking ahead to the next assignment or piece of work rather than historic work. It focuses on the next steps of planning for the future. It is all about offering constructive guidance on how to improve and can be implemented during the task rather than wait until the student has completed their work. However, we need to look at how we record formative assessment, ensuring learners are using the results to help them progress and develop. Individualizing activities for each learner and how we use findings to support their skills and knowledge and development. This will support learners during the NEA to self-evaluate their work. From prior learning of forward planning taken from feedback over the delivery of the content areas and how to review their own work and the next steps. When delivering the content, you should create feedback questions and model answers to support the EA. This is an engineering example. Use the mark schemes indicative content. Have some predetermined questions related to the VCERT subject areas. These could be used as topic tests or end of session recap. You could allow for peer collaboration during delivery of content. You can use this to address learners' weaknesses and identify areas to revisit learning, giving feedback on responses. The assessment of our technical awards is mapped against assessment objectives and includes AOs 1 to 5 as shown on the slide. This example is from Creative Design and Production. They provide a consistent framework for learners and are applied synoptically, allowing learners to show their knowledge, understanding and skills from across the full breadth of the qualification. Formative assessment can help you track your learners' progress throughout the learner journey of studying this qualification. Keeping a record of each formative assessment result will allow you to monitor your learners' ongoing progress, predict a final grade, and identify if any further interventions are required. There are various sources of data for performance indicators, such as end of topic tests, discussions with learner to assess their depth and breadth of knowledge of the subject content, homework and independent study tasks, engagement with practical activities and outcomes of practical tasks, performance at Key Stage 3, teacher observations during practical tasks using the NEA practical assessment criteria. There are also many resources such as progress checks in the teacher materials, sample assessment materials, and prepare to teach activities that are available on our website to further support your formative assessment. Other performance indicators you can use include the EA mark schemes and the NEA mark ranges and descriptors. Another useful way to track your learners' progress and to predict overall grades is to use the overall grading descriptor in the specification. Our Prepare to Teach session are available on the VCERT playlist to further support your formative assessment of your learners towards successful achievement of this qualification. You'll also find other bite-sized sessions that you might find useful.
This slide gives some more examples of the formative assessment methods that you could use to help indicate performance. We do go into more detail in our Prepare to Teach sessions, which are on our VCERT playlist, and these can be accessed on our YouTube channel. Just take a few moments to consider which ones do you use? Do you use a wide range of activities? Do your learners get assessment fatigue? And thinking more broadly, could you develop your practice to make things easier for you or better for your learners? Now, I know that I have my preferred method as a teacher, but I also know that I need to be mindful that all learners are different and respond differently. So making things fun, diversifying the approaches, and reviewing the impact and success of my approach is really important. It is also important to continue to track the outcomes of all your formative assessments and identify if further support interventions are needed. Within the classroom packs, there are comprehensive learner workbooks which will contain classroom-based activities to recap and assess learning. The examples on this slide are from Business and Enterprise and Interactive Media. The workbook also includes independent study tasks that can be used as homework or flipped learning opportunities. Furthermore, the workbooks also contain learning roundups, which will be short formative assessments for learners to assess their knowledge using the similar question types, such as multiple choice, short answer, and extended response questions, to those that will be used in the external assessment. There are also sample assessment materials available for the external assessment, and these are available again for you to access on the NCFE website on the VCERT page. These are for you to use as mocks, and that's whether that's of summer year 10, January year 11, whenever you feel it is the most beneficial for your learners. Grade boundaries cannot be provided as these will change each year depending on national achievement. Grade boundaries will be set each academic year once all results have been moderated and examined, and this is in line with GCSE qualifications. However, data will be available following first awarding that can be used as a guide only for mock external assessments going forward. To indicate progress and performance, consider how many marks out of a total of 80 the learner has achieved and how that may be representative of the level and grades available. For example, achievement towards the middle and higher end of the total marks could suggest the learner is working in the level 2 range of grades. Lastly, it is important to consider if any further support interventions are required, regardless of the level and grade range your learner is working towards, to help your learners achieve their potential and improve their overall achievement. There are sample assessment materials also available for the NEA, and again, these can be used for mock synoptic assessments. They are available, as with the EA, on the NCFE website on the subject-specific VCERT pages. Again, grade boundaries cannot be provided as these will also change each year depending on national achievement. Grade boundaries will be set each academic year once all results have been moderated and examined, and this is in line with GCSE qualifications. And as with the EA, data will be available following the first awarding that can then be used as a guide only for future mock NEAs. To indicate progress and performance for the NEA mocks, you could consider how many marks out of total of the set marks for your subject area is, and what the learner has achieved and how that may be representative of the level and grades available. For example, achievement towards the middle and higher end of the total marks again could suggest the learner is working in the level 2 range of grades. Other performance indicators could include the range of marks and descriptors in the NEA mark scheme. So, for example, 10 to 12 marks could represent that the learner is working towards level 2 grades, whereas the lower end may indicate the learner is working towards a lower grade range. Furthermore, the Band 2 and Band 4 NEA example responses could also be used as a performance indicator, but do note that the NEA example task for each subject may have different total marks associated with it. Again, as mentioned with the EA, it is really important to consider if any or further support interventions are required to further support your learners with their progress and overall performance. Grade boundaries cannot be set until after the learners have completed the assessments. There is guidance in the specification regarding overall grading descriptors, but we are unable to translate this into actual data for grading purposes until the learners have completed both assessments. The thresholds will be set during awarding, and then the overall grading descriptors will be applied once the overall grade has been calculated using the overall marks. On the slide are the grading descriptors for graphic design, so please do refer to the qualification specification for your subject-specific overall grading descriptors. It's useful to note that the difference in the descriptors here to achieve a level 2 distinction and a level 2 pass. So, for example, for a level 2 distinction, it states that the learners will need to recall and apply highly relevant knowledge and understanding in an excellent and highly comprehensive manner. Whereas for a level 2 pass, learners need to be able to recall and apply mostly relevant knowledge and understanding in a good and mostly detailed manner. It might also be useful to refer to the command word taxonomy table in each subject-specific tutor guidance document for further support. And lastly, for more information and guidance, please do refer to our bite-sized webinars that we have mentioned on our VCERT playlist. And if you do require further support, please do contact our customer support team using the details on the slide, or you can email the provider development team at provider.development@ncfe.org.uk. So as we have now reached the end of the webinar, we do hope that you found it useful. If you would like to help us make any improvements and/or changes to the service and support that we provide, please do let us know, again, by emailing the provider development team. And we really do value feedback, so we also would really appreciate if you could spend a few minutes completing our evaluation form, either by using the QR code on the screen or the MS form link. Lastly, like at the start of this webinar, please just take another moment to consider how confident you're feeling now using NCFE resources to track progress towards the achievement of the NEA and the EA, with 1 being little to no confidence and 10 being very confident. We would hope that by the end of this session, you are now feeling more knowledgeable and confident about tracking progress towards the achievement of the NEA and the EA for your learners who are undertaking the Level 1-2 Technical Award qualifications. So lastly, thanks again everyone for listening, and on behalf of everyone here at NCFE, we wish you a continued safe and successful year.